Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Steve Albin 8257 and Chewy's Exploration. Both were first to say first in a couple of my recent videos, and both win this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a neat, interesting new drone for you today, folks. It looks like an airplane, but it's a drone. This is the ZLL SG100 plus 2. The plus 2 means this is the FPV version that comes with a camera. Okay. What is this thing? Well, obviously, it's a drone, folks. You see, we have four rotating propellers here. It's going to operate like a drone, but it looks like an airplane. It has a shell around it in the shape of an aircraft. It only weighs 185 grams. What that means is this does not require registration or remote ID in most countries, okay? Other than those that require ones with a camera, since this does have a camera on the front of it. It is powered by 1503 brushless motors. Now, this being a brushless motor drone, I normally don't recommend brushless motor drones for beginners, but this one I do, folks. And the reason being, these propellers and motors are well protected by the structure around them. Okay, it's kind of hard to get your fingers in there unless you're really a young kid. I wouldn't let young kids fly this, but 10-year-olds and above should have no problems with this particular drone. They'll have enough sense not to put their fingers in there, is what I'm saying. Okay, it's constructed of crash-resistant EPP foam. That means you can bump this around, and the structure should be able to take the bumps and bangs of it. It's also powered by a 7.4-volt, 2,000 milliampere hour battery. It is a proprietary battery, so if you are interested in this particular drone, I recommend you consider the 2-battery option, buying the extra battery. It's only about $7 more, because you're probably going to want to use it, because this is kind of fun to fly. I've already flown it indoors, folks, and it is actually a nice flyer indoors. Okay, we'll talk about the outdoors here shortly, though. It does have optical flow, an optical flow camera. Where is that thing? Right there in the belly here. This makes the drone very easy to fly. You take off, and it automatically looks below the drone, and what it sees through that camera, it uses that to help maintain position to prevent drifting of the drone. Makes it very easy for beginner pilots to fly it. It works very well indoors. I got to say that. Again, I've flown this indoors already, and I'm going to demonstrate it again here shortly. But it is a very easy flyer, especially indoors. Now, it also has really beautiful LED lights. Let me light this thing up, actually. Let me turn on the transmitter first. Actually, let's turn this on first. Let it blink. There we go. Got it that time. The reason I wanted to get the transmitter on is I want to try out the different versions of lights on this. It supposedly has different lighting effects, as you can see there. Pressing it again. Really, really nice lighting on this, folks. And turn it off and turn them all on at the same time. Also even has a tail light showing the afterburner on this thing. So really pretty lights, as I got to say. So let me turn that off right now. Where's that button at again? Get my finger in there. And turning it off. Okay. Other things about it. Beautiful LED lights. I mentioned the camera. It's a 720p camera. It takes video at 720p resolution, and I think it interpolates the video to 4K resolution for photos if you're interested in recording photos onto your phone. And it does that using, oh, wait a minute, before I go into the app, this camera also has remote up and down capability that you can control with the drone or with the controller's buttons, like right there. Is this still on? But you control through the controller's buttons, so you can move this camera up and down to adjust its viewing angle. So that's pretty cool too. Now, this drone uses the Wi-Fi UAV app, available on Google Play and on the App Store. And with that app, you can view and record video from the drone to your phone using common 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. This does not require newer phones with that 802.11 AC 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. This uses the old 2.4 gigahertz, which means all phones should work with this particular drone, with the app of this particular drone. The controller on this, let's talk about the controller. The controller supposedly has a 120-meter range. That is a little bit of a stretch because you're not going to be able to see this at 120 meters. And since this is using 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, I expect the Wi-Fi signal to be maximum out to about 30 to 40 meters because this is using 2.4 gigahertz along with this.
They tend to interfere with each other. In that case, with the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi drones, I normally see FPV ranges about 30 to 40 meters, although you can get larger control range with a controller. You will not be able to see the video from the drone past about 40 meters. Let's talk about the controller. The buttons on it, you have two different rates buttons. This is for indoors. You got 3 indoor speeds. I like to fly at the highest rate because it gives you nice maneuverability with the drone. And it also has an outdoor rate when you go outdoors, you know, in the winds. Now let me talk about the wind on this in outdoor flying. With this structure around it, that really does not contribute to the stability of the drone, okay? Again, this is not an airplane. It is a drone with protective structure around it that happens to look like an airplane. That structure is good for beginners, especially indoors, because it helps you easily see the orientation of the drone. Okay, most drones, it's hard for beginner pilots to maintain orientation because each side looks the same. But with this drone, it's easy to see which is the front and which is the back. So it makes it easy, especially with the optical flow system on, to fly this drone by a beginner, especially indoors. And I'll demonstrate that when we do an indoor flight here shortly. But outdoors, this structure gets hit by the wind, and it actually can create some problems, especially in higher winds, I'd say. You know, in the directions, it says it's good up to wind level 3. That's about 7 kilometers an hour, or approximately, what is that, about 8 miles, or about 6 miles per hour? Something like that. So, you know, any wind higher than a breeze is going to be a problem with this aircraft. It'll probably bounce around because of this structure outdoors. But we'll see. I mean, you know, depending on the day that I fly this, we'll show you how it flies outdoors here shortly. I'm going to include indoor and outdoor flying of this particular drone. Let's go over the buttons on the controller again. Now, I talked about the rates buttons. This is your video and photo button. You press this once quickly, and that will take a photo. A long press will start video recording to your phone using the app. This is your headless mode button. This does have a headless mode, and when you press that button, it doesn't matter which direction the aircraft or drone is pointed. It'll all be based on the orientation that the drone was pointed at takeoff, which would be forward, backward, right, and left on your stick in headless mode. This is your on-off switch here. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. It's off. Other buttons on this. On the right side, this does have acrobatics buttons, automatic acrobatics. You can do a flip of the drone, make it flip upside down, and actually do 360-degree flip by pressing this button here and then pushing the right joystick in the direction that you want it to flip, and it'll do such. It also does automatic circling by pressing this button here, and it will circle. Other buttons on it. This will unlock the motors and also be used for automatic takeoff and automatic landing. This one has a lock on it. This button here is for adjusting the lights. Hold it down for 2 seconds and it will go through the different light patterns available on the drone. And these buttons here are for this is for raising the lens and for lowering the lens on the front of the drone. Additionally, you can also calibrate the drone before takeoff to calibrate its gyros by bringing both sticks down and out like so. And I recommend doing this before each and every flight since it is an optical flow drone. It would be a good idea to calibrate your gyros. Just make sure to take off from a flat level surface. And you can also start the motors. The second way to start the motors for takeoff is to bring them down inboard like so, and that will bring the motors into idle, and you can take off simply by pushing up on the throttle. So that is the drone. Let's go over what you get in the package. You get the operating guide for the Wi-Fi UAV app. You get the instruction manual in English and Chinese. You get the drone, of course. You get a little screwdriver for assembling the drone, which is mainly assembling these 2 little fins. You just screw them on with the smallest screws available in this packet. You get a bunch of screws in here. They're tiny screws for the tail section and a bunch of larger screws for putting on different props. If you break a prop and lose a screw, you got more screws to do such. And talking about that, let's see, you get a spare set of propellers for the drone in case you do mess up your propellers, along with a charging cable for charging the battery through micro USB port here. You get a micro USB charging cable. Now this is a 2000 milliampere hour battery. I recommend that you use a wall charger to charge this particular battery. Charging this on your computer's USB port might take too long. Okay, it might take a day or two. Use a good 2 amp wall charger and this should charge quickly within a couple hours. And of course, you get the controller, which is powered, I didn't show you yet, by 3 AA batteries. So that's the SG100 Plus 2. Let's take it for a couple of flights and see how it flies, folks. Hope you enjoy these flights.
Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the Quadcopter 1 indoor flight test facility for the test flight of the SG100. Okay, to fire this up, we need to turn it on by pressing and holding its on-off button until we hear the beeps, and then place it on a flat level surface, like so. Okay, flat level surface, and then we turn on the controller. And all I did was turn it on and did an automatic takeoff. Let's do an automatic land, check that out. So, yeah, that works. Okay, now what I told you to do, you can do a compass calibration by bringing both sticks down like so until you see the lights flash, and you can alternately take off by bringing both sticks down and inboard like so, and then giving it throttle. Okay, let's test its optical flow system. Seems to be holding its position. Let's go a bit higher. Putting it up in the air there, turning it toward me. Optical flow is working on this thing. That's why I like this particular drone. You can easily see its orientation, make out its orientation, and okay, its altitude hold needs a little bit desired. But while we're at high power battery, let's try a flip. Okay, I'm bringing it down low like so, pressing the flip. Oh, that's a circle button. Turning that off. That was the circle, automatic circle. Let's bring it back over again. Let's see if it stabilizes. Let's try the flip button again. And right flip. Now I would recommend keeping it low because sometimes this thing it climbs when it does a flip. Let's try a left flip. How about a back flip? Bringing it down. And one more flip. Let's bring it closer. Right about there. Flip button. Forward flip. Yep, no more flips. Doesn't, at least not a forward flip. Didn't want to do that. How about another right flip? Okay, so it doesn't do forward flips, just backward, left, and right flips. Now let's go up a bit higher again. Let its stabilization system kick in, optical flow. I'm going to lower it a little bit more. Now let's just go around the room. And over here, I'm at the lowest rate right now. Very slow flyer. Easy to fly though, folks, as you can guess. Bringing it over. Let's bring it right up to me. Now I'm not showing the camera right now. I'm going to use the camera outdoors. We'll demonstrate it outdoors, but there it is up close, folks. Actually neat and easy to fly. Now let's go to second rate. Second rate. Let's go again around the stanchion in second rate. That's the second indoor rate. Third rate, high rate for indoor high rate. Going up a little bit higher. And there's what it does when it crashes. Okay, I did a head-on right into the stanchion there, and notice the motor shut off. Ain't that cool? So, when it flipped upside down. So, putting this back on the pad. And I need a haircut, folks. My hot cam keeps falling off. I need a haircut badly. Okay, let's try that automatic takeoff button. Neat. Okay, let me see. Beginner, intermediate, expert. Okay, back to expert rate again. How's the maneuverability of this thing? Very maneuverable. In expert rate. Cool. See what it can do? Indoors. Very highly maneuverable indoors. Neat. Coming down lower. That's that. Oh, I want to do that circle position in high rate. Let's try that again. Circle position. Okay, that's what it does. It goes in circles. Stop it.
Coming back over. So that's a circle position. Can we do another flip while we're here? Yeah, flip. So such a neat airplane for indoor flyers. Very easy to fly. Good for beginners. Easy to learn to fly. Extremely maneuverable in indoor high rate. I like it. Fun little plane. Or it ain't little. Intermediate size plane. Okay, again, I recommend this maybe about 12 years and up. 12 years and up would be good for this. Not for tiny kids, okay? Get one of those little tiny things for small kids. But this one here, man, a 12-year-old would love this. Actually, I kind of like it. I'm a 12-year-old at heart. Okay, let's bring it up close. Show this thing up close. I like it. I like it a lot. For an indoor flyer. Whoa, go around you stanchion. And it shuts itself off again when it bounces into something. I like that too, folks. Okay, it bounced into the wall there when it went behind that stanchion. I don't have my glasses on right now for close-up viewing. There's my little indoor racetrack for my micro FPV cars, which I still have and use. I like those things, those indoor FPV race cars. For those of you who haven't seen the video yet of that. But let's go back up again. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Figure eights. Neat. Extreme maneuverability. This has got to be the most maneuverable beginner's drone that I've had. Oh, I hit the stanchion again. I'm going wild with this thing and doing all kinds of stunts with it, you know. But I like how that shuts itself off. What did I press? Oh, that was the camera button. Oh, by the way, let's show that camera going up and down. Okay, can you see it there, folks? See, it goes full down and full up, or full horizontal. So you don't have that downward looking view on it like other drones may have. Other beginner drones. So you can go full up or full horizontal. Take off again. And let's continue. Am I still in high rate? No, I'm not in outdoor rate. What's outdoor rate do? Oh no, you don't want outdoor rate indoors. It's blowing all my little hosses over there off the pad. There's a lot of downdraft off this thing. On this thing. Bringing in for a slow pass. I like it. This is a fun one, folks. For indoors. I don't know what it does outdoors yet. I still haven't flown that. Whoa. I gave it a little too much throttle there. But it shuts off again. Love it. That it can do that. It senses an impact on anything and it'll shut itself off. I haven't even talked about emergency stop yet. It does have emergency stop capability by holding down that unlock button, but you don't really need to do it. At least indoors you don't. It doesn't seem that you do. Okay, starting motors manually this time. Manual throttle. Checking stability. High rate. Back to high rate. And turning it around there. Like it. Zoom, zoom. Yeah, this is a fun one, folks, for the winter days, for flying indoors. You gotta be careful going around this stanchion. I always bump into something over there. Coming back. We're seeing what the flight time is. I'm flying at the whole battery power for this one. And the reason being, I want to see how much battery power we get on this before we go outdoors. But it does seem to give me a reasonable time. I think they were predicting 15 minutes. I think that's a little excessive, but there we go. The lights are blinking now. And this is beeping also. Can you hear it? So we are low battery. Let's see what happens on low battery. Does it land itself or what? What do you do on low battery power? Going to low rate. I'm going up higher and going out again. Beep, beep, beep. So we're seeing what the battery power on this is. How much flight time do we get out of this neat drone airplane? Now, this does automatic turns, but it's easier to just do your own like so. You want to do those turns or turn to the left, just bring both sticks to the left like so, and it'll do them. To the right and forward. Okay, battery is getting low. We'll see what that final flight time is. Minus those crashes. I can do that. Do the addition. Neat. Going around. Go around the stanchion again. And with a little practice, you get good at this thing. You get the feel for it. So yeah, this is one of the better flyers for indoor flying. Even though it's a brushless motor drone. Powerful brushless motor drone. But does a good job indoors. Real good job. Very appropriate for indoor flying. Especially the way it'll shut down on a crash. I like that. Automatically detects that it crashed and it shuts itself down. And that EPP foam is very spongy, so you have no problems crashing into things. Well, I bet you I could put this through a maze. It's that maneuverable. Run it through a maze. Make an indoor maze to test that out. Well, it's still flying with the beeping. What is your flight time? We're going to find out. Turning. And that optical flow works very, very, very well. It does a good job. So I'd be curious to see this thing outdoors, how it flies. That's the next one. How high can I go outdoors with it? We'll find out. I got a feeling the wind might be a problem with it. Again, wind might be a problem because of that structure. But indoors, oh yeah, it's great. Great indoor flyer. One of the best I've seen for indoor drones. Highly recommend. Oh, there we go. And that's the end of the battery power. So that is the flight of the SG100. Not a bad drone at all for indoor flying. Really, really a good drone for indoor flying. I recommend it for indoors. Now let's take it outdoors next and see how it flies outdoors. Hope you enjoyed the second part of this flight, folks. Good afternoon, Quadcopter 101 here, and the sun is finally coming out here in Erie, PA, and that gives me an opportunity to test fly the SG100. Okay, first thing I want to do is get the video recording going, and there goes the phone on the controller. My phone keeps coming out of this controller. Let me start the video recording again. Okay, video is recording. Now, to do the takeoff, again, all we need to do is press that automatic takeoff button. And let's check its stability here. Okay, seems to be working. Let's go up a bit higher and go out a little bit more. Snow is just melting out here. And also let me go to outdoor rate. Whoa, outdoor rate is very extreme. Okay, hold on, folks. My phone keeps popping off of this controller here. It's a little bit too wide, so I'm going to put the phone down separately and bring my drone back here. And I'm not going to be looking at the app while this is flying. Okay, let's just fly it around and see how it does. Okay, first off, I want to check out the stability of the optical flow. Is it going to hold? Well, no, it doesn't seem to be outdoors doing a good job. Let's come down a little lower and see if that optical flow will kick in. Lower, lower. Okay, so the optical flow is kicking in when I get down low, a little. Come on, optical flow. There we go. So it's not as good outdoors as it was indoors, the optical flow, but with the outdoor flight rate, it does seem to fly quite a bit better. I want to get out of here. Okay, again, this is the outdoor rate. Let me see if there's a second outdoor rate. Let me press the button. No, which is between indoor and outdoor rate. An outdoor rate is very extreme pitch. Notice we had a lot of snow here, folks, this winter. And the snow just melted in 2 days. We had about a foot of snow here on the ground. But there it is outdoors. And it flies very well. Okay, let's try that camera out. I hope the camera's recording. But going up a bit, and let's lower the gimbal one beep's worth. Going up a bit higher. Optical flow's kicking in right now. I wonder why it wasn't working before. It's working now though, the optical flow. Okay, then coming back down again. The reason being, I want to try acrobatics with this thing. Well, let's do flips while in forward flight. Okay, that's a circle mode right there. That's the automatic circle mode right there, folks. Coming down lower. But let's try a flip. Oh yeah. Can I do a forward flip? Forward. I'm going forward. Neat airplane. Airplane drone. I'm going over there. Let's bring it in closer. It's just an oddball looking thing, ain't it? I'm going over this way. I'm going to stay in the front yard here. Can you do a back flip? Forward flip? No, just side flips. It can just do side flips only. So, let's check that optical flow again. Are you going to kick in optical flow? I don't know why. Okay. It doesn't seem to want to kick in outdoors. And I don't know why. It works real well indoors. At least it did in my basement. Weird drone. Okay, what have we done? Oh, the lights, we've done the lights. Headless mode, I haven't demonstrated that. Headless mode's on. Okay, it doesn't matter which way it's pointed, that's always forward, this is always back. And I can pirouette at the same time. And let's turn headless mode off. So again, we are in outdoor mode. Okay, let's go to indoor mode. Optical flow works when it's in indoor mode. You go to outdoor mode and it shuts off. What's up with that? Okay, high rate outdoor mode. So apparently when you put it in outdoor mode, optical flow turns off. Can I go up higher like this? Will it hold its position up there? Oh yeah. Let's come off to the left here and show the neighborhood then, since optical flow is now working. So yeah, you turn it into outdoor mode, the optical flow system turns off. Indoor mode, it works. Let's go even higher. Oh yeah, it works great. How about if I rotate? Showing the neighborhood. I hope that video is recording. I had to take my phone out of the controller here because it wasn't holding it. But yeah, it's working in indoor mode. So again, when you put it into outdoor mode now, apparently that shuts off the optical flow system so that you lose that stability. But in indoor mode, like so, it works. You know, indoor rates. When I press this, you know, here, now I'm going to turn it off and put it in outdoor rate. We're in low battery, and notice it starts drifting. Going back to indoor rate. Actually, I got to turn outdoor off, and then it stops drifting. So, okay, we are in low battery right now. It's doing a good job. So let me bring it down here, give you my thoughts. See if this is recording. Neat airplane for beginner pilots, or neat drone for beginner pilots. Optical flow system works real well in indoor flight mode, but once you go to outdoor rates, it shuts itself off. It shuts the optical flow system off. I don't think that's described in the instructions anywhere. As for its looks, it's a neat looking airplane, or drone, airplane/drone, very neat. Its flight ability, not too bad, especially when you put it in an outdoor rate. Flies very well outdoors, very maneuverable, same as indoors, except that, again, when you go to outdoor rates, it turns off the optical flow. Going back to turning that off and going back to beginner rate and bringing it closer again. So, well, we got a few minutes of battery life left here, or a few seconds of battery life. Let's take a look at this thing while it's operating, coming down a little lower. There it is, up close. Optical flow system working. Amazing little plane, okay? Little drone plane. Again, great for beginners. I'd say 12 years old and up should be able to fly this very easily. Just remember, if you're depending on the optical flow, you got to be in indoor rates mode. Once you press that outdoor rate button, that shuts off the optical flow system. The camera, again, has that up-down capability. Let's go up a bit higher so I can show you that. I don't know if it's recording, but if it is, I should be showing up as we go a bit higher. And then coming back down again. And I'm going to raise that gimbal, that camera back up again, higher. So, neat airplane, drone. Pretty cool looking too. Really cool looking. I like the looks. So let's take it for a slow flight around the area one more time before we lose power completely here. Neat. Going to second rate. I like it. The SG100. And I think that's it. That's the hour flight time there, folks. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. It was very interesting to me. We discovered something there about the rates and about the optical flow system. If you want to fly optical flow, you got to put it in rate. You put in expert rate, very maneuverable, but you lose optical flow. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.